Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. The reason you see me.
Rebel in the Ozarks has been captured after breaking out of prison in Arkansas last month. Grant Hardin is the former police chief who was convicted of murder and rape. Ian Lee joins us now. Ian, what do we know about how Hardin was captured?
Oh, hi, Elizabeth. You know, people in northern Arkansas can breathe a sigh of relief now that he is captured, and we are learning more details. What's really remarkable is Grant Hardin was found about 1.5 miles from the prison. After 2 weeks of searching, he was found so close to the prison. I think that really just underscores just how difficult this search is, especially with that terrain and the real dense vegetation. What we know is that a special team from the Border Patrol that specializes in searches like this, they came in to help out. They had dogs that were able to pick up the scent of Hardin, and they were able to find him. We've seen some pictures come out. He looks disheveled. He looks like he's been in 2 weeks in the woods, covered in dirt and mud. Authorities have apprehended him, and they're taking him now in for questioning.
And Ian, are we getting any new details about how Hardin escaped in the first place?
Yeah, Elizabeth, I just was on the phone with the spokesperson from the Department of Corrections. They say that investigation is still ongoing, but he did tell me that one of the key things is going to be this interrogation. Now that they have Hardin, they can ask him all the questions they want to see if anyone helped him, how he was able to make that makeshift uniform that was able to allow him to escape and just walk right out of prison. So law enforcement has a lot of questions, but tonight someone who's been convicted of murder and rape is back in custody.
Wow, guys, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. As you can see, Grant Hardin, they got him yesterday. This guy been out for a couple of weeks doing his thing right up under their nose. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. Grant Hardin escaped. As we know, we seen him get out, and once he got out, he basically shuffled up out of there. They showed the pictures of him. He had on a uniform and everything else, and basically they thought he was gone. They had been looking for him everywhere, and come to find out he was right there where they least expected it, under their nose. You got to understand, man, when these guys been locked up like this guy have, they're looking for any opportunity to come up out of those chains. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know. Like I said, he did this by himself, which was the right way to do it. But this guy right here, they finally captured him in Arkansas. He basically was running around. I don't think he went to no store, nothing. I don't know. He had to survive on the wild because he was out there in them woods, and he wasn't even but 1.5 miles from the jail. And I know already they thought they was really doing their thing, looking for him everywhere. And somebody got epiphany. Maybe he just walked a little ways away. He couldn't have been too far. He couldn't have got in a vehicle. Well, where is he at? Oh, he's right out here. So this here is something that they've been had problems. Of course, y'all know about New Orleans, trying to figure out where these guys are at. I'll read a little article somewhat that they wrote on the young man. He's an ex-police officer as well. It says, a former police chief and convicted killer known as the Devil in Ozarka was captured law enforcement by 1.5 miles, 2.4 kilometers northwest of the prison. He escaped following a massive, nearly 2-week-long manhunt in the rugged mountains of northern Arkansas, authorities announced Friday. Grant Hardin, a former police chief in a small town of Gateway near the Arkansas-Missouri border, was serving a lengthy sentence for murder and for rape. Eventually, his notoriety led to a TV documentary, The Devil in Ozarka. Hardin briefly attempted to run from the officers when he saw them approach Friday afternoon. But, of course, he was quickly tackled to the ground, said Rand Champion, a spokesman for the Arkansas system. He'd been basically on the run for a week and a half, probably didn't have any energy to him. That's what he had. Hardin identified was confirmed through fingerprints, and the Island County Sheriff's Office said on a Facebook post. There's no identification that Hardin was injured, though he will be checked for the dehydration of the medical problem. Now investigators are chomping at the bit and really ready to talk to him, and said Champion, who used his cell phone and captured the image of Hardin being led away by the officers. Hardin said nothing during those moments. And I don't think Hardin's going to be, he said nothing during those moments. I don't think he's going to be talking to y'all much. It's a lot. I heard the guy a while ago when we was, we'll be able to ask him questions. He's showing you now, I don't want to talk to y'all. Why do I need to talk to y'all? But, you know, for the killings and stuff he done, he needed to be captured. The rape that he was linked to, he needed to be captured. A lot of people look at these things and don't understand, you know, how did he get out? What happened? Well, you know, he should know the system. He's been pretty much holding people in prison for the longest. So who better than him would know how to come up out of those situations? You know, the guy has, I think it's a calculation of 50 years, 25 for the rape, 25 for killing, you know, a victim. A couple of people, he's shattered their lives, their family lives, and everything else around them. So for this Hardin guy now to be recaptured, you know, definitely a thing that needed to happen up there in Arkansas, man. And he looked like he was pretty dirty, like, you know, the guy had been running for a minute. He was out in those bushes. He looked like he'd been really, just like I said, dirty and basically hadn't been nowhere else. So he was right up under their nose. Arkansas definitely, now the officer says that, hey, we can, I read that in another article, we can go on and rest easy now because we got him back in confinements. He's not going to be able to hurt or do anything to no one. And they feel good about it. You know, when he escaped, everybody was kind of low key talking about this. This had no, you know, impact like that the New Orleans breakouts. You know, this basically was one that they kind of had held under the radar, but they did capture him. They say when they captured him, he tried to take off running. He tried to sprint, but when he tried to sprint, guess what, guys? He didn't have no energy left. He out there probably living off the land. It looked like he pretty dirty. He's not in the same uniform that he was in. I don't look like, unless that was, I have to go back and look. Was that the same was that the same clothes? I think it looked like it could be. He might have just took off a layer that he had on top. But I'm looking at him, man, and he doesn't look like he looked like he wanted to be caught, because at the end of the day, where is he gonna go out there? If you don't jump a car, find a way to get away from the place that you're escaping from, you now pretty much is looking for somebody to find you, because you're going to die in those woods. You're not going to be able to. You're going to die out there. That's the whole game that I see. You can't live out there off the land unless you like me. Now I probably would. It wouldn't be no problem. I'd find something to eat out there, and yeah. But what tripped me out was the dogs. They came later on, brought the dogs, came and found his scent. And then they let the dogs start looking for him right around that vicinity. And that's one thing you got to know about them dogs. Once they pick up that scent, and I bet you his scent was getting stronger and stronger if he out there in the woods not taking baths. He out there trying to figure out a way to stay alive. He's leaving signs everywhere for the dogs and everybody else to pick up on out in them woods, because you just trying to live at this point. Even if he cooked, they can see the signs of him cooking. If he was able to make fire out there and get him something going, they can see all of this. And now they say, okay, now that we got him back in jail, we're going to be asking a lot of questions about this situation. How did you end up escaping? Did somebody else help you from the outside? These are questions they want to get answered, but I still, like I said, I don't believe he's going to answer them. Grant Hardin, they also did a special on him called "The Devil in the Ozarks." You know, I never seen the special, but I wonder if it's good. Y'all get in the comments, tell me if it was a good special or not, because I never seen it. To be real with you, I don't see how he basically did some of the things he done, but to be a police officer now having to go to jail, now he's even more high profile. I think they're going to put more time for sure on him for this. This is another whole case he's created for himself. If you wasn't going to get away, you might as well understand that now you're never getting out of prison. 50 now done turned to 100. You basically done pissed them people off up there, and they gonna handle you. They definitely gonna handle you. And so whoever breaking out these prisons, they gonna handle you. You got to figure out a way not to get caught if you're going to come up out of there, man. But I want y'all to do me a favor, man. Look at this next video, man, that's coming up, man. I think it was, 50 Cent. 50 Cent talks about his baby mama getting on the stand. He posts and then he takes it down. You guys should see that right here, man. And keep on watching Boss Talk 101. Like, share, subscribe. And guess what, guys? We got a lot more coming to y'all today. Be ready for it because it's coming in very, very hot. Boss Talk 101 reviews.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.